What do you think he's feeling right now? He just tweeted out moments ago that no vote after Election Day would be counted. What are your thoughts?
Well, no vote after Election Day should be counted, but that's not going to be up to me or you or President Trump. Unfortunately, sadly, we all see what's going on. It's a highway robbery. They're stealing the election. There's no question who won the election. President Trump won in many ways what looks like or looked like an electoral landslide. If you'd said to me before the election, Wayne, what does Trump have to do? He has to win Florida. He has to win Ohio. He has to win Texas. He has to win Georgia, North Carolina. He has to win the whole Midwest, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa. He did it all. He won an electoral landslide. Then they started stealing Michigan, Wisconsin. They're playing games in Arizona. They're playing games in Nevada, where I live. There's no question they're stuffing the ballot box. Ballots appear out of nowhere. That's why they passed mail-in balloting and ballot harvesting in the middle of the night in a Nevada legislative session with no debate and no announcement they were going to do it. This is all about stealing the election. Trump, in my opinion, has won my state, Nevada, fair and square. He's won Arizona, fair and square. And they've got literally thousands and thousands of fraudulent mail-in ballots, no signature verification, no geographical verification that they live in the state of Nevada. And they've got literally no voter ID. So there's no way to tell if they're legal citizens or illegal aliens. They're stealing the election. But it's not up to Trump. It's not up to me. It's up to courts. You're going to have to go to courts and fight this, get it to the Supreme Court, and hope that Amy Coney Barrett is the edge you need to win the presidency. That's the way I see it. You got to have an all-star team of the greatest legal eagles you could ever find, and hopefully led by Rudy Giuliani, and win this thing at the Supremes.
They're holding a press conference. The Trump campaign is holding a press conference at 11:30 a.m. in Las Vegas, in your state of Nevada. So we'll hear more from them as well, the legal eagles, as you say. What do you think should happen? How do you stop voter fraud at this point, Wayne? And what do we learn going forward?
Well, you saw what happened in Michigan and Wisconsin. They said we're closing up for the night, no more counting. Now, that makes absolutely no sense. Why would you ever close up? This is a once every 4-year event, and you're hired and your job is to count until you've counted all the ballots. And then you close the doors, good night, the game's over, somebody wins, someone loses. But they closed it and went home for the night. They said, we'll see you in the morning. Then when I woke up in the morning, instead of a 300,000 lead in Michigan and 130,000 lead in Wisconsin, or somewhere right around there when I went to bed, suddenly Trump was behind in both states. They said they were closed for the night, but somehow they reopened in the middle of the night with no one watching, and they found hundreds of thousands of new ballots, which were 300,000 to 0 against Trump in one state and 130,000 to 0 in the other state to take the lead magically. You know, listen, there's no such thing as a tooth fairy. There's no such thing as fairy dust. Somebody's stealing the election. It's the Democrat Party. It's a scam. It's bad. I just got a note moments ago, a text from a jailhouse lawyer who told me how they're doing it in Nevada. Thousands and thousands of ballots, mail-in ballots, were sent to a homeless shelter in Los Angeles, and they fill it out there and send it in as if they're Nevada ballots, and nobody's checking. And I'm providing that information to the Trump campaign literally this morning. He gave me all the details of how it's being done, and he says they're just laughing at us. They're stealing the election with homeless ballots in states they don't even reside in.
Yeah, a lot of allegations there. All of them have to be investigated, undoubtedly. There is something that smells here. You've got to ask questions about it, regardless of how you feel about it. The questions need to be asked. I'm curious of your response. I'm sure you've gotten texts from your friends or neighbors asking you, do you really think President Trump can really win this thing at this point? What's your response to that?
Well, my response is, number one, all you have to do is keep what you've got. If we go to court and we fight to keep Pennsylvania from being stolen, North Carolina from being stolen, and Georgia from being stolen, as long as Trump closes on those three, at this moment, my math says he loses 270 to 268, the closest loss in the history of America. If you were to flip one state from that point on, Trump wins, Biden loses. My understanding is we're about to flip Arizona today. Arizona is not done counting, and based on what they've counted so far and what's still left to be counted, we should announce that we've won Arizona today. which means Trump is the president of the United States, not Biden. That's why Democrats are working overtime to flip Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania away from us with fraudulent ballots.
Wayne, you know
That's
who would
their
disagree
job.
with you is Fox News on that Arizona call.
Well, I was watching it all, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Not just Arizona, but Virginia. I know Virginia eventually did go to Biden, and I don't think at this point anyone's arguing that. But they called it way too early. I was timing it. From the moment they called Virginia, forget Arizona for a minute, from the moment Fox News called Virginia for Trump, 3 hours later, Trump was leading in Virginia. They had no right to make that call when they made it and add those electoral votes to Biden's column on national TV. Arizona, same story. Way too early, way too soon. It's going to turn out to be a bad call. But the point is, it's not about whether it's a good call or a bad call. To me, it was literally fraudulent.
Right.
You added those electoral votes to Biden's column just to make sure the whole night he was ahead of Trump, which gave him credibility, gave him life, gave his voters
I got to
hope.
jump. I'm getting yelled at by producers. Wayne, you know how it is. I got to get. Wayne Allen Root,
Right.
good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.